you can understand why the NDC supporters, they are not happy. And then also we got information that Ebi Bright stormed out of the courtroom. Not too happy about this particular decision by the courts.
For real life update from Accra High Court near the Bremono. Just a ruling na ashasi Bamako. We all know say a 4 seat and a outstanding just a Supreme Court a kwashe say a Accra High Court and hearing for the mandamus application. We should be cyber as we speak, a ruling Edika Bama a tema central say ye babeti ho asem na cyber speaking no NDC for any abri papa o masha say boycott mu pieces ne nkrofa hodo no o masha say boycott court say o mani nji ruling na ban ruling is saying and say cyber speaking no Accra High Court a command EC say recollection and course no to aso not the was where we no and we all know say NDC for so the say your various constituencies now EC declare say NDC pieces na winning into KM4 no now so cyber as you speak no NPP for the near now there is some rules hon tien kasa bebre yen konenko tinsen mchechemu and incidents na the AC go.
The High Court has ordered the Electoral Commission to recollate and declare results for the Tema Central constituency, and that is between Ebi Bright of the NDC and also Charles Forsing of the NPP. Sisu tells us that the court made the decision on many reasons, including two which he mentions as one. The person who declared the result was not a returning officer, was not the right person who declared the result, and also the EC collated only 146 out of 148 polling station results. That means that EC did not have the full complement of the results to declare for whoever that won. That was Ebi Bright. And so the court says declaration, collation, and declaration should be done again, and that should be done on or before the 6th of January. We know that on 7th January, there's going to be the swearing-in of the new administration, including MPs, and the court wants that to be done so that by 7th, there'll be a full complement of who is going to Parliament, as well as the President-elect John Dramani Mahama. My colleague Alfred Okanse is here with me in the studio for more on this. Alfred, what does this mean to all of the conflict or uncertainty we've had since all of these issues started?
Great. So we're back to the status quo, square one, because if you recall what happened at the Electoral Commission's that's the Greater Accra Regional Office almost 2 weeks ago when Charles Forsing was declared as MP-elect is the same process that the court is asking that the EC goes back to do. The EC did the collation or recollation in the Tema Central constituency and then now declared Charles Forsing as MP-elect. It was that particular act that Nelson Dafiamekpo, who is a lawyer for Ebi Bright, was contesting because the court had previously given an order that they should now go back and then either start from where they left off or start the entire process of recollation. That's what Dafiamekpo was contesting, that the court was quite clear that instead of the regional officer of the Electoral Commission for Tema indicating that they were going to start off from where they left off, that is just the 2 polling stations that were left, he would rather they go through the entire process of recollation. That was the contention. Now, with what has happened today, the court is essentially saying that those 2 polling stations that were not collated and added to the original declaration, 146, but there are 148.
So the 2 that were not added to the 146,
to make up the total number of polling stations in the Tema Central constituency. Now, what we're going to see in the coming days, because by January 6th, the court says by January 6th, that collation should have been done for the 2 polling stations and then added to the 146 that was used to declare Ebi Bright as MP-elect. Now, by end of January 6th, we'll get to know, and it is crucial. Why? Because the 9th Parliament will be sworn in on the dawn of January 7th. And so if this declaration for Tema Central is done on January 6th, all things being equal, the Electoral Commission now would have to go through the process of gazetting whoever is declared as the MP-elect after the 2 polling stations are added in Tema Central, for the person to go through the registration process and be sworn in as part of the MPs for the 9th Parliament on the dawn of January 7th. So that's one area to look at as well. But we would have to backtrack to understand why these 2 polling station results were not even added to the 146 that was used to declare Ebi Bright as MP-elect. If you recall, during the elections, in fact, after the 7th of January, after polls closed at 5 p.m., there was some misunderstanding in the Tema Central constituency where the Electoral Commission was attempting to transport some ballot boxes using a private vehicle instead of the official vehicle of the Electoral Commission. So you had the NDC supporters there contesting that particular move by the AC. Eventually, there was some understanding. They got a taxi, and then they transported the boxes because they said they could rather trust the taxi driver, you know, than a private vehicle, which was not even registered for that matter. Now, fast forward, on the 9th of December, we saw some thick crowd of supporters of the NDC who, together with the MPP as well, we understand, who thronged the coalition center. And as a result, the Tema Central returning officer indicated that he cannot declare the results because his life was being threatened or in danger. So he had to take the Tema West constituency returning officer to declare Ebi Bright as MP-elect in the Tema Central constituency. And this was done at the Regional Police Command. Because of the misunderstanding, they moved the entire coalition process to the Regional Police Command. And that is where the Tema West returning officer declared Ebi Bright as MP-elect.
And that is one of the reasons the High Court stated in making their judgment that the right returning officer did not declare the results in that constituency. And for that matter, they cannot uphold that Ebi Bright won the election.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is also good to, and that's why I was making the point about how this Tema West constituency returning officer was the one who declared Ebi Bright as MP-elect, because the Tema Central constituency returning officer says, you know what, because of all the things that were happening there and he receiving threats, he was not in the position and right frame of mind to declare. And so he left. We understand he even left the coalition center. The Tema West returning officer was the one then who was called upon to declare based on the 146 constituency, that's the polling station results, Ebi Bright as MP-elect. The 2 polling station results, according to Nelson Ross and Dafianko, the contention was that there was some discrepancy with the recording of the results on those 2 polling stations, that's pink sheets. And so they were contesting that. So they went into court today with the video evidence of the Electoral Commission, the Tema West constituency returning officer declaring Ebi Bright as MP-elect, to the effect that, to that extent that the Electoral Commission, an officer of the commission had declared Ebi Bright as MP-elect, then that must hold, because a declaration has so-called has been made. But then the court is contesting it using the specific reference that you made. And we can now get into the rule book too that the court used, made reference to in reaching this particular ruling. Grace.
Yeah, so Alfred, the court makes a lot of cases or gives us a lot of reasons why they had to order the EC to do a recollation and declaration of the results again for the Tema Central constituency, which means as it stands now, Ebi Bright cannot hold herself as the MP-elect for that constituency. Recollation and declaration will decide whether it is Ebi Bright of the NDC or Charles Forsing, also from the NPP. The court also says that there are some 5 reasons or 5 demands that should be met before that declaration that was done earlier would be upheld. Now, it says prerogative order issued by a court, and the 5 conditions are: shows there is a duty, was there a duty performed to the nation, must be of a public nature, and demonstrate demand. Was there a demand for that duty to have been performed. Did the EC show refusal to perform that public duty? The mandamus order be granted where applicant demonstrate that he has been prejudiced. And so the EC declared only 146 out of 148 polling stations not having collated, or 148 means first condition has been met. And also the person who declared the result was not a returning officer. That point Alfred and I have been hammering since we got here. And also on demand, was there a demand for that? And this one says the EC didn't deny receiving notice. It didn't deny receiving notice of the coalition that had been made, but inaction of the EC after receiving notice constitute refusal. So the questions on the minds of some people are that, assuming that a person other than the returning officer declared the results of the presidential, would it have been lawful? Imagine if the returning officer of the presidential election, who wasn't Jen Mensah, who is Jen Mensah, did not declare the results of the presidential, would it have been lawful? And also, if the EC declared person A as president after considering 100 out of the 276 constituencies, will it be legal? So these are the arguments that the court put out there, and in reaching the decision that the EC should recollate and then redeclare the results in the Tema Central constituency, meaning that Ibi Bright cannot hold herself as MP-elect for the Tema Central constituency. The EC will have to collate all 148 polling station results and then decide whether it is Ibi Bright of the NDC or it is Charles Forson from the NPP. But what we have on the first ruling that has come out saying that the EC has been ordered to recollate and then declare the results for the Tema Central constituency, meaning Ibi Bright again cannot hold herself as MP-elect for that constituency. After the recollation and declaration, the EC will decide whether it is Ibi Bright of the NDC or Charles Forson from the NPP, Alfred.
Well, so you can understand why the NDC supporters, they are not happy. And then also we got information that Ibi Bright stormed out of the courtroom, not too happy about this particular decision by the courts a few minutes ago. Here's the reason why. Because those two outstanding polling stations results were collated 2 weeks ago at the Electoral Commission's office here in the Greater Accra region. And when they added those two to the 146 polling station results that were used to declare Ibi Bright as MP-elect.
All right, Alfred, so I'll have you hold on that. Let's connect with Sis. He's speaking with some of the supporters, and then we can get to hear what they've been telling him.
Yes, we are still here, Grace, at the High Court complex, and I have the NPP Regional Secretary with me, Mr. Parker. The first one that we are hearing from the court inside the courtroom regarding Tema Central, it seems to be good for you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity, and let me first take the opportunity to greet all viewers. As I'm standing here, I'm communicating with one of our lawyers in there, and as I'm standing here, I'm communicating with one of our lawyers in there, and I speak to you. All the four has been declared that the EC should go ahead to do the declaration and collation, and then the EC, the police should provide them with armed security to ensure that the declaration is done. So it is all the four, not one. The Tema Central came in first, so we informed our people about the Tema one. But just as I'm speaking to you, we have one of our council in there who has given me information that all the four has been done, and so there should be a declaration as directed by the judge.
And they have spoken about Ablekmanov.
They've spoken about all the four. It's not only Ablekmanov. We have Ablekmanov, Okankwe Central, Techiman South, and then we have Okankwe Central. So it is all the four as I speak to you.
But the court is still in session.
Court is still in session. Definitely when they make that declaration, they still have to sit and then compile their documents. So that is what
it's a judgment that is being given, and the moment it is given, it means that there's nothing left to be done in court. The court would vacate. Is that not it?
Well, like I'm saying, I have one of the lawyers in there who is communicating with me. So you are here, I'm here. We will definitely they will be coming out very soon. You know, it takes time. You just don't wake up when judgment is given. They will compile some of their documents before they leave. So that is what they are doing in there. But as I'm speaking to you, I have it with me that all the four has been, the judge has granted that they should go back and then do the needful. The EC should go back and do the needful.
Well, we can agree on one, which is Tema Central. The reporter we have in there has told us that that has already been decided upon by the court, and we know that Ablekuma North is underway. So we will wait on the reporter to update us on that. In the meantime, we can say that congratulations on Tema Central.
I will expect you to congratulate me on all the three in Greater Accra, because I have the greatest share in Accra. You have Ukakwe Central, I have Ablekuma North, and so congratulate me on all the three.
When we get there.
Ťe̳sion for a year, it be bright arches and na and caneno no MP elect edema Tema Central in the name of NDC na Cyber speaking on Niema able free Accra High Court and just yet Simon Sem Dodo na abisisa Bruno. Asema nwanwa ayeti pa ne say NPP gura ye interview no or kasai no. We all know say one constituency and Accra High Court edi ruling number. One constituency and Accra High Court edi ruling number. Now so papa yi etimenya kokodro ejina Ghana nyina anim ni wiase nyina anim say ruling na enyamba no yenye ndi asemi wie no a report nyempie no ono no etimenya evidence court kwa could declare the rest of the four seats no since you know a year back on about Tema Central. The remaining three I become one hamana four seats no or say court Eddie sa ruling never badada. I will cry in yambe to just a court this ruling about was a court Eddie sa ruling never prejudgment. Na ono no Kesi sudia se ekwambia su ruling na ekoma Tema Central isisi no court order say omonsanko ye coalition for the remaining polling station on main no. You all know na NDC for crisis a coalition beba so I was see collate all the polling stations sana dafia mapoye de ekan. Now so court say the remaining polling stations na Tema Central for na enwie no omonkonkonko to aso. And Sabri as we speak no NDC for any inches animal no. Aden Tema Central no you see different EC and return officer and na ye den e be declare result na may be bright. Aden Nipa no ye responsible say o declare result no see he was threatened and he was under duress blah 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 blah. Inti na no want to declare result no. Inti eno na edi tensions are doing the APP every High Court the eba because NPP for nenya kukodro and the video side the acheche and the court said this is the evidence that say in Tema Central and yet the exact return officer and declare the results it may be bright a year different a year presiding officer and be declare ma it be bright money winning to omonjis are ruling here day and as a declaration here the into it can be any ya bo NDC for application and atwogu. So right now no papeya report inyam by court inyam kasai indi the rest in semni no or ye MPP ni Kesi etma babontia because the remaining three no saa nebeko na ye nyina etwen se ampa saa nebeko because ekosa na kwa ese saa bre no NPP for no omo judges for na dream we don't know so mon on my secret meeting one chain there and Niyama be say PP there because how come say I dare no judgment and by now where the kind of judgment about penny and pa judgment never bano a ye de walk no I will call on your lawyer and lawyers for a dean their court here in Ebeka. Tis answer no error so we shall for winning some course na as you speak no NDC for bonjo so it be bright arches and the constituency no any dinner maybe no with the before p arches enya sanketua na sabre no ye nyina ye hwe anim kwan say and the rest of the city no emubi yebeka ruling enkoma NDC for na chese eye good news here the NPP because bia Iberias and Ibia for sitting in Crampono. We are all hoping for the best, and we know the kind of things that these people can do. Just singers and guitar. Menko because why they updating a bureau. Stay tuned. Higher for 1G Akroma.